Okay guys, so in this video, I'm going to talk about changes to week 3, the importance of reading all of the information on a given page. Always check to see if I've added new information. You don't know whether or not something you see written on a page in anywhere or in an email or announcement applies to you unless you read it. If you say, oh, I'm just going to skip that, I'm going to scan that, it's not important, well, that's kind of weird to say, isn't it? How can you know something's not important if you don't know what it says? If you don't know what something says, you have no basis by which to make the judgment that it's not important. So it's important that you read something, and then at the end of the day, if after you finish reading it or listening to a video, you might say, "Oh, I'm not going to watch that video. It's not important." Again, how do you know it's not important if you haven't listened to what it said? You're basing your claim that something's not important or worthy of your time on nothing because you haven't read what I've written or you haven't followed the video. So I'm really in coaching mode right now, and I want you to take this as a sign that I care, and I'm creating these videos as I see a need for this. So right now I'm going to point that out a little bit more, but I'm also going to give you a heads up on the curriculum changes that I decided to make after seeing what you guys are up to after week 1 and 2 and my concerns that I expressed previously about plagiarism. I have caught so far some instances of plagiarism and rejected some week 2 topic responses for the discussion board. But I also want to talk to you about the changes that you're going to see for the week 3 folder and provide some other information to you. So let's go ahead and look at the learning and assignments page. Okay, so like I said, you're always responsible for reading every single thing that I write down. So here I am in the learning and assignments page, the landing page you get to. So if you have not read this, go ahead and read this. I'm not going to read it for you. I wrote it down so you can reference it. Same thing, if you haven't read this, limited access to weekly, bi-weekly learning and assignments. I'm not going to read this to you. You're going to read it. You're responsible for that information. I just added this information to the learning and assignments main page or landing page. You are responsible for reading all of this. It explains why you may not have ever seen the week 2 folder, why you might not see the week 3 folder. If you see the week 3 folder, then so far you're good, okay? Even if you didn't get the week 2 topic response submission in, you still have access to week 3. Okay, so now, as you can see, you see this folder in yellow for week 3. That means it's available. This folder is in gray. That means it's no longer available. I talk about availability of a weekly folder above. So I was telling you to read this information up here. So reading this information up here helps you to understand why you do not see the week 2 folder. I have hidden it because of whatever I say above here. So I'm not going to repeat the information I already wrote. You have to read that. So now we are on week 3, and again, if you don't see week 3, then there's a reason for that, and it's explained up here. Now, for those of you who do have access to week 3 because you did everything you're supposed to do as to my satisfaction for week 1, and because it's now time to start on week 3, therefore it's available, I want to go over some changes that you will note. So you still have the learning objectives there. You are responsible for reading about this information. It says, where's the discussion board 1? Do I have access to discussion board 1? So everyone needs to read this. If you did not turn in your week 2 topic response, you do not get to participate in discussion board 1. So just know that that's not a possibility. So that was necessary. Completing that topic for access to DB1 was absolutely necessary. And I realized I need to put some of this information over on the main landing page, and I will do that. So read this. You can even stop the video, which you might want to do, and read it. Okay, so you still have step 1. This is so crucial, you guys. You have a new software to learn, sort of. There are 5 graded soft talk modules. You'll learn about them as you go through them. You just basically click on a link, but make sure you read all of this about using Firefox as your browser when completing the modules below. You must read all of this information here. Here I have a video. It says use the video below to start the first soft talk module with the professor. You're responsible for reading everything here. Here is the link to the video where you can work with me and I coach you through the first module worth 10 points, and I show you how to use the lessons in the modules to find correct answers to questions and quizzes embedded throughout each module. Here I break down the video. The video is over 37 minutes long, but it's so worth it. People who complete this video, have much higher scores on the first soft talk module and much higher scores on the other soft talk module. And so basically, these are the modules that you do down here. This is the one that we do together, all right? So there's another thing that I need to tell you about the soft talk modules. When you're ready to click, you have to click on finish on the last page for a soft talk module to be submitted. I talk about that here in this video. So again, make sure you watch this video. In fact, you need to, because I go over additional requirements in completing the modules that you need. You should start these modules as soon as possible because some of you may run into technical issues and you might need to get help from me with technical issues. If you start this too late, then you are not going to be able to have time to get help from me on these, and you could end up losing points permanently. So make sure that you are proactive and that you start these modules as quickly as possible, but don't rush through them. Okay, so another thing. Okay, so that we've got that. If you look at the original course schedule, I don't have that we're starting off with the discussion board, or that we're going to do discussion board 1. I have something about discussion board 2. I am going to have you respond to a discussion board topic, but I'm going to change this to say, actually, I took out this discussion board. So there's no new discussion board in week 3. So this actually gets permanently taken away. So we're just going to completely ignore that. Instead, you're going to see a discussion board link pop up somewhere around here and you'll participate in that. It'll be up here or down here, but read this information right here for information on when the discussion board 1 link will appear in week 3 and the qualifications for getting access to it. In the meantime, while you're waiting for me to make that discussion board link available sometime on 2/15, while you're waiting for me, for those of you who submitted up to the deadline, your week 2 response, you're waiting for me to see if it passes my check. You can move on to other items in week 3. So just because you don't see discussion board 1 yet doesn't mean you can't start on week 3. Like I said, it's really important to start on this. This is due way before this is due. That said, let's say you finish this in no time at all, then you're going to want to go ahead and go directly to what you see as step 3. I've hidden what was step 2. So basically the gist is, even though you're still responsible for reading everything, is that this tells you when DB1 will be available, who has access to it. This is something you can start right away. Give yourself at least 2 to 3 hours to get this done. Give yourself about an hour for the discussion board. And then you're going to need a couple of hours to do this as well. So let me turn this around. So long as you do these things, you're going to be fine, right? If you get access to discussion board 1, that's what you're going to do for week 3. You're going to do all 5 soft talk modules. You're going to follow the video lesson. That's going to take you 2 to 3 hours altogether, probably more like 3 hours. And then you're going to do this reading from chapter 2 and do the study guide. That's what you have to get done for week 3, no matter what the course schedule says. Okay, so speaking of the course schedule. All right, so as you guys know, after the semester started, I said that I had caught too many instances of plagiarism in my other class, so I had to make some changes to how you access a discussion board. So what I've done is I've updated the course schedule. I made changes, as you can see, to week 3, but also to weeks 5 and 6, weeks 9 and 10, and weeks 12 and 13. And I've typed them up in a new version of the course schedule, and I am going to make the new course schedule available to you so you can make changes in your schedule. I've never done this. I've never made this kind of drastic change to a course schedule after the semester started, but given issues with plagiarism that I've encountered this semester, it's just too much. And so I felt compelled to make the unprecedented move in terms of my practice of changing a course schedule after the semester has started. So I am going to do a video on the changes of the course schedule. I will post the changes by 5 p.m. on 2/15, and I will post a video that goes over the changes in the course schedule, so just so that you're more aware of what's going on. So please wait for that video before you ask me questions about what's due when after week 3, so that you get a chance for me to go over with you things that you might otherwise be confused about or have questions about. I might answer your questions about the course schedule for things that are due after week 3. In this video, I've already gone over week 3 and what and talked to you about what you have to read, what you're doing, what you can go ahead and get started on, and stuff like that. So that's all I have to say about that.